Hi, and welcome to the Carla Knits podcast. This is a podcast where I talk about knitting and crocheting and all things yarn and fiber related. I'm Carla and I live in Nebraska with my husband Jeff, my daughter Jenna, and our cat Reese's. Thank you to those of you who have been joining me each week for my podcast. This has been a new adventure for me and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you're joining me today for the first time, thank you for stopping by. Any of the things I talk about, yarns or projects or patterns, will be listed down below. I started doing that last week, but I did fail to mention that. And if at any time there is something not in the show notes below, please feel free to reach out to me through the comments, or you can find me on Ravelry or Instagram as cbcraftygirl. I'd be happy to answer questions there as well. Okay, well, welcome and let's get started. First off, I will talk about what I am wearing. This sweater is called the Glimmer Crop. It's a pattern by Whimsy North. This is what the original design looks like. And I really fell in love with the color work part of this pattern when I first saw it on Instagram. The style reminded me of the Soldatna by Caitlin Hunter, which I really enjoyed knitting. So I wanted to try this. I have made a few modifications to it. I am not really a cropped sweater wearer, so I did knit it longer. I still would probably like it a little bit longer, but it is longer than the pattern instructed. I also did some changes. You can see that the original pattern had stripes across the midsection in a couple sections in the middle and then above the ribbing band. And while it's cute, it's not, I didn't think that would be a flattering style for me. So I just went with a solid dark color for the whole body after the color work. The yarns I used, I don't have very much of this green left, and I do wish I bought 3 skeins of this. I wish I had bought 4 just to make it a little bit longer. But this dark forest green, it's got greens and blacks in it. This is by Megs&Co on Etsy, and this was in the Huntress colorway, and I should say this is a DK weight sweater. So that's what I have left of 3 skeins of DK weight. The aqua, the bright turquoisey aqua, just such a fun color, and I had used this in another project. I actually had 2 skeins of this. I used this previously, I think on a cowl for my mom. And I really loved this bright color, and I was craving something fun and bright up in the color work section. So this is by Lofty Loops Yarn, and she is a local yarn dyer to me. She lives in Lincoln, Nebraska, and this is called Mamanuka, and it is bright turquoisey aqua, and it's got blips of green in there too. I just really love that color. The pink and the speckled color are both by Lolodidit, and the pink, let's see, the pink is called Material Girl, and this fun speckle, I just love it, is called Bad Fairy. I really need to find something else to do with these yarns. I love this speckled yarn, just so many fun colors. So those are the colors that I used to make this crop top. And I paired it with a button-down shirt underneath, and I really love this sweater. It's just, I like the dark tone down below and just the bright fun color up above. So that is the Glimmer Crop. All right, I do have a couple finished objects this week. My first is my finished pair of DK weight socks. You know, if you joined me before, you knew I was really excited to try knitting a pair of DK weight socks, thinking that they would go faster, and they absolutely did go faster. So super fun. The yarn is by Bumblebee Acres Farm, and it was their Pride and Prejudice collection in the Miss Jane Bennett colorway. And they are just so lovely. The pink, the rosy pink color, it has some subtle orange speckles, occasionally a little brown speckle, but they are just so pretty and feminine. I love how they turn out, and they fit really well. The pattern I used was also by Bumblebee Acres Farm in their Sock a Day socks pattern, which came with 3 different sock patterns, plain vanilla, a ribbed, and a broken ribbed. And you can see I did just the plain stockinette. From that whole, I believe it was 246 yards in a DK skein, which I divided in half to knit the socks. This is what I have left. So I was cutting it close, but I made it. So I think I probably, if I make another DK weight pair of socks, and knowing that not all DK weight is the same, has the same yardage, I would probably reduce the leg maybe by 10 rows. So, but I'm really, really happy with how they turned out, and I'm going to add this to my box of socks. So this is pair number 4 for the year. All right, my next finished object, 2, these are a small finished object, are these cup cozies. I am somebody who loves Christmas. I love Christmas knitting. I love gift knitting, and so I am already thinking ahead to this coming Christmas. And I saw this on another podcast, the Honeybee Knits podcast. She had made some of these, and this was a really cute kit. I purchased it from Around the Table Yarns. It's a yarn shop in Ohio, but I ordered it online. And so it comes with the color changing cup, and it came with the yarn to make the cozy, a pattern, and then it came with the hardware to fasten this tag on there. So I have a few more that I'm going to be making. So it came with the cup, this much yarn, so not a lot of yarn. This is Malabrigo Rasta, so a really bulky weight, super bulky weight yarn. And then it came with these cute leather tags, and you had your choice of what you wanted it to say, but I chose it's a bee, and it says "Be kind." And so when you're done, you can fasten it, and it came with the hardware to fasten it on there. And so I made 2 of these, and these knit up really quickly. It was a fun project, very different because it was on large needles, and it was also on double points. I typically don't use double point needles, and I certainly did not have this size, so I had to purchase these, but these are a US size 13. And I was a little nervous that it might be hard on the hands just going to such a bulky weight yarn on such big needles, but these needles were really wonderful to work with. These are a Chowgu, I believe it's it's a bamboo, so Chowgu bamboo needles, and it was fun to knit on double points because I feel like I'm always doing knitting on my circulars, so it was fun to just have a little break from that and to knit on these double points. So I just thought this would be a really cute gift. And the cup actually is a color changing cup, so that's pretty fun too. And I thought it would be cute to either tuck a gift card inside, or maybe a packet of hot chocolate, or maybe even candy inside, and just that would be a really fun gift. So you will be seeing more of these because I did purchase a couple more. I did look on Around the Table Yarns website yesterday. They still do have some in stock, although they don't have all the colors of yarn that I was able to get. But a really fun, and it's pretty affordable, fun project, gift knitting. So do any of you knit for Christmas, crochet for Christmas? Do you start thinking about it already? Honestly, when Christmas is over, or when Christmas was over in 2020, my mind was already going with, what do I want to make for Christmas in 2021? So that kind of always is going in my mind. So that is my other finished object, some cup cozies. All right, on to works in progress. All right, so I finished my DK weight socks. The pattern also wrote instructions for worsted weight socks using fingering weight yarn held double. So like, okay, I want to try this. And so I started a worsted weight sock. So I have 2 fingering weight yarns held together. So a worsted weight sock, same pattern, the socks a day sock pattern, and they have different numbers and instructions for the worsted weight version. This yarn, I love this yarn. This is so pretty. So this is by the Woolen Homestead, who is no longer dyeing. She was one of my favorite yarn dyers. I have several skeins of her yarn, just beautiful. But this is just lovely blue with lots of lovely speckles in it. So to make this sock, or anticipating making 2 socks, I divided my 100-gram skein into actually 4, this is kind of messy, but 4 equal balls. And so I'm using, these 2 held together to knit this sock, and then I have the other 2 put away to make the second sock. But it's really soft, it's really stretchy and cushy. And so I started this last night, and worsted weight, it does go pretty fast. So I am enjoying that. I didn't tell you about my project bag. This is my Michigan bag. It says home and the little state Michigan, and that heart is where I grew up. So I grew up in Grand Haven, Michigan. I lived in Michigan for 29 years, so my heart kind of belongs to Michigan. This bag was by Special T Sewing on Etsy, and I'm not sure if she is selling on Etsy any longer, but this was a really fun bag with the dyed fabric first, and then the applique on of the state in the Upper Peninsula, and then it had a fun jean backing with the little pocket too. So this is a really cute bag. It's a great sock bag. I don't know if I mentioned, but the Woolen Homestead yarn, she also lives in Michigan. So this is definitely kind of my Michigan project. So that is my first work in project for this week. My second work in progress is a sock, of course. You've already seen this. I showed this last week. And I've made quite a bit of progress. I was only about to here on the cuff last week, and I have made my heel, and I am working down the foot now. I am about an inch away, so I have to do an inch left of stockinette knitting before I put my toe in. This yarn is by Knitterly Things, and the color is called Hibernate, and I'm really enjoying working with this yarn. I'm enjoying the colorway. I chose just to continue knitting with this yarn for the heel. Oftentimes with self-striping yarn, you may see a contrasting heel put in so as not to break up the stripe sequence. But I just chose to keep going, and I like my heel flap and gusset on a sock, and it worked out really well that the gray kind of took up most of the heel, and I think it's turning out really fun. So I hope to have this sock done really soon. My goal is by the end of this weekend. My other work in progress that got quite a bit of attention this week is my Felix pullover. And this is a pattern by Christoffers. And I was here last week, and so I've knit this much, and I have just split, ooh, I'm losing some stitches. I have just split for the sleeves. So now let's get those stitches back on. There we go. Getting the stitches back on. So I have just split for the sleeves, and so now it is simply knitting the body of the sweater. And I believe it calls for 9 inches, but I'm going to make it longer. I have plenty of yarn in my stash of this particular yarn, which I should mention for those of you who might be joining for the first time, is Queensland Kathmandu Chunky. And I still really am enjoying working with this yarn. I love the colors. I love the flex in here, and it's just a nice light. It actually feels pretty lightweight, but I think it's going to be a really nice sweater. But when I got to the time to set the sleeves, sleeves aside on waste yarn, okay, and now I'm gonna knit the body of the sweater, I thought, my goodness, I have so many projects where I am just knitting, stockinette knitting all the way. I've got that sweater, which is just the body all the way down now. I have my other sweater, my knitwear sweater. I'm not going to show that today because it hasn't gotten a lot of love this week, which is I'm at the part where I'm knitting down the body. And then of course my stockinette sock, my other stockinette sock. So just lots of plain knitting in the round. So I think I am craving something with a little bit of pattern in it. So I am planning to cast on another pair of socks. These are the Wish You Were Here socks. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I gotta see who this is by the Kitchen Sink Shop. And I don't know if you can see the lace detail. So the lace detail is mirrored on both sides of one side of one sock and then on the other side. And it's just a nice simple lace detail going down part of the leg of the foot, or the leg of the sock and the foot. So I think that little bit of lace will just be a bit of interest for me. And the yarn I'm planning on using, I'm also craving bright and colorful right now. Spring is definitely in the air after all of the cold temperatures we've had this week. We've hit 60s, we've hit almost 70. It feels wonderful outside now, so bright springy colors. I love that bright pink. This is Wildflower yarn. I found this on Etsy. This is a UK dyer, and I just think this will be bright and fun. I have some upcoming birthdays / occasions coming up that I would like to make gifts for. And so I'm thinking I would like to see how this knits up into that sock pattern for a possible gift knit. So that is what I am planning on casting on very soon. All right, I think that covers it for today. I hope that you are all well. I hope that you have had some crafting time to do the things that you enjoy doing. I'm planning on taking a week off. My husband and I will be on spring break from college next week, and so I'm gonna take a week off, and then I will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and hopefully some really good progress on some of my projects here and some new things to show you. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram or Ravelry, again, I am cbcraftygirl. I would love it if you would like and subscribe to this video so you can find out when I have new episodes. And again, please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, what you're working on, or just share anything that you'd like. So that would be great. So I hope you have a great couple of weeks, and I'll see you soon for some more crafty chat. Take care. Bye-bye.